Tonight at 5, a new task force timeline. The federal surge to fight crime in Memphis begins Monday.
This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be complicated. There will be a lot of things that we have to figure out over the next several weeks, but we have an opportunity to do something that has been long needed in the city.
We're getting answers about the operation from Command Central, the mayor and police chief, shoulder to shoulder with the governor.
Our main concern is to make sure that Memphians know that the work that is done is on their behalf.
Success is the only option. We want to make sure that we find ways to sustain the gains that we will achieve long term.
Live team coverage on what to expect with the National Guard in Memphis starts now.
Violent criminals, drug traffickers, smugglers. This is a violent crime and a crime eradication.
13 federal agencies, including the National Guard, are headed to the Bluff City to address our crime crisis, with operations for the Memphis Safe Task Force hitting the ground running on Monday.
We have team coverage tonight breaking down all we have learned today from state and local leaders about the Memphis Safe Task Force. Action News 5's Amani Williams will share the reaction from local business owners.
But first, let's get you over to Michaela Redman, who was at the governor's press conference this morning. Michaela, what can you tell us?
Yeah, during that press conference, we learned that the U.S. Marshals Service will chair this operation and the National Guard will be deputized under them. Governor Lee said they will not be making arrests and they will not be carrying weapons unless local law enforcement requests it. Now, Lee did clarify that he is not declaring a state of emergency, and the operation falls under Title 32 at the request of the federal government and authorized by him. Now, with the expected influx of arrests as the operation gets underway, I asked Governor Lee about the capacity at the jails and if they are prepared. Lee said they have been working for the past few weeks to create availability at the jails, with what he said will be hundreds of arrests. He said that includes coordinating with federal prisons, state facilities, and county jails in the region. Mayor Paul Young, Police Chief C.J. Davis, and Governor Lee all made it clear that success is the only option.
Success looks like Memphis being a safe city, Memphis being a place where people have no concerns about going out with their family, about locating their business, about sending their children. When people recognize the city of Memphis as one of the safest places in America, that'll be success.
It's still unclear how long the National Guard and other federal agencies will be in Memphis. He did say they will act as a force multiplier for Memphis Police Department and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, working in collaboration with them. Now, District Attorney Steve Mulroy sent out his weekly newsletter and said the National Guard will be in high visibility locations like FedEx Forum. For now, reporting live at Crump Station, Michaela Redman, Action News 5.
Action News 5 received a statement from the White House on the start of the Memphis Safe Task Force that begins its work Monday. The statement reads, quote, in 2024, Memphis had the highest violent crime rate, highest property crime rate, and third highest murder rate in the U.S. Following the president's highly successful operation to combat violent crime in D.C., which objectively drove down crime rates across the board, numerous Tennessee officials have applauded the president's decision to address crime in Memphis next. Addressing crime will benefit all who live and visit Memphis, end quote.
Okay, so we still don't know the total number of National Guard troops or federal agents assigned to the Memphis Safe Task Force. But Governor Lee did today outline how the Guard is going to operate. Troops will be in their standard uniforms and they will not be wearing masks. This mission will not put armored tanks on our streets. The U.S. Marshals will deputize Guard members, but the troops will not be armed unless Memphis Police or the Shelby County Sheriff's Office requests their assistance in that capacity. The Guard will not be able to make arrests nor issue warrants.
More clarity for you. District Attorney Steve Mulroy says regardless of your interaction with MPD, state troopers, or the National Guard, your constitutional rights do not change. He specifically mentioned freedom of movement, saying no authorities can stop you on the street or pull you over without reasonable suspicion a crime happened. He also brought up, in order to search you, your car or home, authorities need probable cause or a warrant.
Those opposed to the federal surge and National Guard deployment hosting 2 events this weekend. The campaign is called Free the 901, founded by more than a dozen groups, including the ACLU of Tennessee, Memphis for All, and MICA. They say the task force is overreach and they reject the militarization of Memphis. The community advocates want new policies and community investment that deals with public safety and also addresses the root cause of poverty and crime. Free the 901 holding a no cooperation with occupation march right after a 1 p.m. news conference tomorrow, starting in the park near Juvenile Court.
Investing in the community and crime initiatives also discussed by Governor Lee this morning. He said Memphis will receive millions of state money to fight crime, along with new partnerships.
I'm announcing today that we will be providing an additional $100 million in grant funds toward public safety initiatives in the state of Tennessee, in the city of Memphis, from the state. It's an effort to combine what we're doing with this task force with additional resources from the state to magnify the effectiveness of this.
And so businesses, a large talking point today in Governor Lee's comments on the incoming federal resources. Action News 5's Imani Williams joining us live now after speaking with people in the business community. Imani, what do they have to share with you?
Well, let's start with Governor Bill Lee. He said that he's spoken with CEOs who want to bring businesses here to Memphis, but their biggest concern is crime. He said he's tried to recruit businesses here, but they have to feel good about bringing their business and jobs to the city. That's a major factor in the economic growth of the city. Now, Lee says these federal resources are needed for the business community, those big businesses and those small local businesses as well. He said it's time to alleviate that concern. I spoke with a local business owner who says there may be a silver lining in it all.
If they're coming here to help aid and support our existing police officers, because they are 600 officers short, maybe it will be something that can benefit the community. I don't like how it was executed. I don't like how it was the lack of communication and the lack of teamwork, but maybe there will be a silver lining saying, hey, we're 600 officers short in Memphis. We need to use these National Guards to help fill that void.
Now, I spoke with Mike Longo, former CEO of Hibbett, which is City Gear's parent company. Longo was the CEO while City Gears in Memphis were burglarized several times a month in 2023. In response to the Memphis Safe Task Force, he said, quote, take advantage of the temporary increases in assets, prosecutors, National Guard, etc., to suppress crime. This is a bridge to buy time for the increased police presence. Now, Governor Bill Lee, he said that once people are on the ground, once the National Guard and those other federal agencies are on the ground here, he will speak with the business community to see how those resources are helping here in Memphis. We'll continue to follow this story live downtown. Imani Williams, Action News 5.
Imani, thank you. With today's developments about the Memphis Safe Task Force arriving in town on Monday, we asked Memphians how they're feeling. And we took to the streets to see how would you feel when you see this in Memphis. And we got mixed responses. Listen.
I think it's good. I grew up here, but I've been away for over 30 years, and I think it's great. I think the crime here is so bad now, they need to do something.
I think it's completely unnecessary. The National Guard is not equipped to do law enforcement. They're trained for battle. They're a military force. They're not law enforcement.
What I'm worried about is where are they going to be deployed? You know, are they going to be deployed in high crime areas, or are they going to be wandering Beale Street and downtown area, or where are they going to be?
And that is something we are wondering as well. Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy today, when he issued guidance on how to deal with the National Guard or the federal surge, said you can expect them to be seen in high visibility locations like FedEx Forum. It's only a couple more days until expectation becomes reality again. The Memphis Safe Task Force, the federal surge starts on Monday.
And be sure to stay with Action News 5 as we continue to bring you complete coverage of the National Guard's arrival here to our city. On the free Action News 5 app, we are sharing reaction from local leaders and suggestions about interactions when they arrive. You can find it in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.